Hey everyone, it is finally time to cut this beautiful Snapdragons. Now if you watched my last video, this is just right after the garden tour. I wanted to cut them in the morning still, take advantage of this beautiful morning light and talk to you guys a little bit more about the way that I'm cutting them and what I'm doing to try to have as much blooms as I can in the next few weeks still. Here is this absolutely gorgeous Snapdragons. I have a mix here. I have the Tall Deluxe mix from Baker Creek, and I also have this beautiful Madame Butterfly. Now, according to Johnny's seed packs, they say that you should harvest the Snapdragon once half of the blooms, half to 1/3 of the blooms are open on the stem. And I was following that guideline because that was before I started watching Lisa's video. And Lisa says she harvested Snapdragons when the first blooms open. So I'm gonna do a test, of course, because I love experimenting. And I'm going to harvest these guys at this stage, where the one that Johnny's recommended, and also at Lisa's stages, which is once this open here, I'll come back and harvest this. I already went a little bit far on this and waited to open, but I'm kind of happy because I love seeing these guys half open in the garden. It just brings joy into my heart to actually walk in here in the morning and see them blooming like this. And these did get pretty tall because I planted them very early in the spring, but according to her method, you go all the way to the bottom, very scary, and cut with maybe right above about like 4 or 6 sets of leaves, or she said you can do all the way almost to the ground. Now this is scary, but then that will help these side shoots are already kind of getting big to grow a lot taller and produce a lot more than if I left these other side shoots in here. So I'm gonna go for it and cut this first one here, right here. Let me grab my clippers. So I might not be doing this very right because it's my first time, but I'm gonna try. Maybe I'll do right here after above like 6 sets of leaves. So whoop. There's how it looks after I cut, and here's my bloom. Very tall stem because it's so hard to see with the camera in my hand. Can't really see the length. There we go. Because I planted them super early, completely different than my Snapdragons last year, which they're tiny, barely grew, and didn't do much because I planted them at this time. Actually, May was just planting them in the ground. Now I'm harvesting, so definitely I was not giving them the conditions that they like because they're a cool flower too. So I'm gonna go ahead and strip the bottom of these leaves and keep harvesting all of these other ones that are half open too. Okay, I'm gonna have to lower the camera in a minute, but here I'm just gonna do all the leaves, strip all the leaves down. And this is the length of the stem, so it's pretty tall. I'm just a gardener, home gardener, not a flower farmer, but pretty proud of the size of this Snapdragon this year. Another thing about Lisa and the book Strawflowers, I found out about that actually after I planted this from another YouTuber. I forgot the North Lawn Gardener. I think she's in Pennsylvania, and I'm gonna put the link under her channel description box below too. She mentioned the book and showed in her garden all her cool flowers growing, and I started learning more about it, and I was happy that I planted this Snapdragon super early as an experiment because it turned out that was actually in a good time. So let me put this in the bucket and lower the camera a bit so you can actually see a bit more of the harvest. But look at this. I'm super proud, you guys. You have no idea. The stalk is looking really good. The Snapdragons look really good. In my little humble city garden, I have no words. This year's been good, and I hope that I am going to get some blooms for our wedding too. Okay, so that's a lot better. I'm gonna put my gloves because I cook and I have some burns in my hand. I'm a professional cook by day, so I am going to protect my hand here because I just pulled in there and it felt sensitive. So I'm gonna cut this other one. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to do this, and I'm gonna admit, my first time doing it, and I feel I'm having a hard time. This one is not even branching in the bottom, but I'm gonna do it. By doing this too, I'm honestly actually delayed the blooms because our wedding is just in mid-July, so I still have a few more weeks to go, and it's going to start getting really hot. This side of the garden gets shaded in the afternoon, which is a good thing, so I have hopes that they would stay alive for longer. And by cutting them all the way to the bottom like this, I think that I am extending my chances of having blooms by then. I also planted Snapdragons at the location of the wedding, which we're gonna go check it out this weekend. We're gonna go there for Memorial Day, so stay tuned for that video if you're curious. And this is a variety that I grew there. It's my favorite so far. My favorite orange is my favorite color. Oh my god, I'm tired. Favorite color is orange. with the pink, it's just the perfect combo. So it makes me think of sunsets. I lived in Hawaii for 7 years before I moved to this crazy city, and this makes me think of Hawaii and Brazil with the beautiful nice sunset color in the skies with the pinks and the oranges and the yellows. So I'm very happy with this, even taller than my first one. Look at that. I'm gonna get them all together here. Look at this, the difference. Yeah, very nice. I don't know if I got that in the camera. Can't really see because of the sun. Hopefully you guys got it. But this is incredible to me. I'm so happy about the plant of this stuff. I actually have a florist that showed it, actually got contacted by a florist that saw my post on Instagram, and she said she wanted to buy some of my flowers. I was so humbled. I can't sell it now because I wanted to also have them in my apartment and study their vase life and practice arranging, because I am also making all the arrangements for the wedding myself. So still gotta go. I have a long way to that. I've been trying, but I haven't had enough flowers. Now finally I'll have enough flowers that I can make mistakes and rearrange things. So, but maybe when I come back from Brazil, if my flowers still looking good, that would be amazing. But I was very humbled that she reached out to me and said she would be interested in buying my flowers. Very nice. This one I cut a little bit because it was curved. It's going together. Oh my gosh, I love this color palette so much. That's gonna go in with the other ones on this side. Little ambulance. Can't wait. It's super early in the morning, you guys. I have no idea. It's so noisy already. After I harvest all of these Snapdragons, this one was too short. This is how I thought most of my Snapdragons would be. That's gonna go in a bud vase. But after I harvest all these Snapdragons, I'm gonna harvest the stock too. The ones that are just one cut, because they're not gonna produce anymore. So let me cut this. Oh, you know what? This one has one bloom open, just like this is said. I'm gonna cut this one too. Ah, this is so scary. I really hope this works. Put this in here. This one. This one is a different one. It doesn't have the bronze. It's all pink. Look how pretty it is. It's a darker color. It's very beautiful. I think this might be my favorite. I don't know. Can't decide. Let me put them side by side so you guys can see the difference. So this one is the bronze and this one is the cherry bronze. I don't know. But this one's a little bit more pink than this. And they're both gorgeous. Okay, that's pretty good for the first harvest. More here. That's a beautiful one too. I did 4 sets. I'm putting the leaves back in here. They're not diseased or anything. They are still looking very healthy, so they can act as mulch and feed the soil. Okay, that was all for the Snapdragons. And I'm gonna cut some of this Ranunculus. This is pretty good too. This looks like the ones I was buying from the farmer's market. That's pretty good. I got some pretty tall ones at my backyard too, but they're infested with aphids. It's kind of sad. You can tell that I like this color pattern. This color palette, sorry. I did grow some darker Ranunculus too. Which are not as tall, so I'm not changing the camera so much. It's a little hard for me, and I want to still harvest this with early soft sunlight while it's still nice and cool. There were some aphids in this one. So these are the 3 Ranunculus. They're so pretty. Okay, this is it for this side. We're gonna move on to stock now, and then the Strawflowers, and we should be ready to go home. I already made a video harvesting stock. This one I'm harvesting all the way to the bottom, to the ground, because it's a one-time only flower. It's not cut and come again. So these guys are just for the beauty, to embellish my home. And I also wanted to have some early flowers for the pollinators, which has worked because I had tons of bees and hoverflies on this stock early, which is good. Now I have more blooms, so the bees are actually all around. But I love the smell of stock. I love these white ones. They're so pure white. So beautiful. And then I made more space for my zinnias here. I had some baby zinnias. Not sure if you guys can see. Some zinnia seedlings that will now get more sun and hopefully grow a little faster, because I need them to be blooming by the time of the wedding. Tomatillo seedling. I had tomatillos in here last year, and lots of them are popping up. No tomatillos for us this year. They're not going to be here to take care of it, so Now this stock here, this guy is a spray stock. This is a cut and come again. So there's two different kinds of stock. The regular stock is the one cut only. And there's a spray stock, which is this one. You can see their side shoots, and that's supposed to keep producing. So I'm gonna cut this, kind of cut like I'll cut the Snapdragons, about maybe 6 sets of leaves. There is no shoots on the side as of this moment, just on the top. So I don't know if it's right or not, but I am willing to give it a try and experiment. So I'll take those here. I said that I like this color before, but to be honest, I'm not sure if I'm a fan. I'm gonna get closer, hope so my audio gets better. I'm not really a pink lilac kind of person. Some people love this, but I'm more into the warm colors like those over here. Okay. So proud of my home garden. It's producing so much more than I thought it would. Not a tomatillo. This one is pretty big. It is tempting to leave this. I kind of want. I love tomatillos. Okay, most of this stock is harvested. This stock from Baker Creek was a little bit of a challenge because the color was not true. They have beautiful pictures, but I think they edit their pictures a lot, so it is hard to really say the true color of what it is. Learned my lesson this time. Germany's, I haven't had that problem yet. They, I don't know, they maybe take pictures with natural sunlight or something, and they've been very similar to what I've seen. This one is a spray stock too. This color I like. That's a pretty color. I like this one. The zinnias are going to be a lot happier now. They have a lot more space and sun. Hopefully they will take off from now on. And here is the harvest so far. Beautiful. And I'm still going to harvest the strawflower over here. Strawflowers did incredible on my garden last year. It bloomed all the way into a hard frost. A light frost didn't kill them. They bloomed through the whole summer. It's kind of incredible. I was very in love with them. And this I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the Snapdragons. Oh, this one is hard because it's so well branched in the bottom. So, alright, this guy here is going to be similar to the Snapdragons. This is very well branched. Also planted a lot sooner than last year and is doing a lot better. Last year I was just planting them as starts right now. Oh my god. That one's scary because it's so thick. Look how many side shoots I'm going to get rid of. And this I am cutting for drying. So the head's a little flimsy with strawflower, but this is the perfect perfect stage for me to dry. This one's a little too open. They keep opening a little bit, I learned, after you hang them up to dry. At least mine did last year. So I don't really like when the yellow is showing for drying. I'm going to take all the leaves off because I also noticed that it dries a lot faster and a lot straighter if there's no leaves. And this is going to be great mulch for the soil over here. That's a ridiculously long stem. Look how thick it is. That's crazy. Alright. Let's get going. I'm a little afraid. Look at this one. This color here is gorgeous. A little lighter and it's a little bit more open. It will open a little bit more. Oh my god. Good thing I just filmed the garden tour because this garden tour was a lot different without the plants. Since I've been talking a lot in this video, I'm just going to harvest all of this and just show you guys how it looks at the end. Speed up for a little bit. That's so scary. My patch looks completely different now without the flowers. Some of them are still opening. Well, let's see how it goes. At least these guys are gonna go for the wedding because they all are going to be dried. Oh, that's gorgeous already. I'll clean them better at home. It's getting hot and I wanted this. Put this guy in the shade. Helicopter? Like 5th helicopter today in New York City. I don't know what's... My battery. I'm losing battery, but there's a couple of Snapdragons here that I want to cut. These are much smaller, and I'll leave this get a little taller. And that beautiful orange calendula too. This is gorgeous. Okay, let me get going because my camera battery is about to die. But this is the ones I got now. I'm gonna add them to the bucket. I was gonna harvest this Clarkia too to take home, but it's getting warm and I want these guys to get in a cool room as soon as possible. Actually, I do want to get one more Cosmos, this one right here, to put in my bucket too. This is how they look like. This is all that I'm taking home this week. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you next time.